Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin. Thanks for joining me today. Before we get started, I want to say I hope to see as many of you as possible at the Tucson Invitational Coin and Currency Expo at the Casino del Sol in Tucson, Arizona, January 18th and 19th, 2024. Thanks to the Coin Geek YouTube channel for sponsoring, as well as Stax Bowers. We appreciate it. Also, we got some local sponsors dropping in, Frontier Insurance and Aho Bikes if you need a bike. Aho Bikes if you need insurance, Frontier Insurance. All right, so let's get after this, man. This is a fun topic. I'm going to tell you the truth about coin roll hunting. Dun, dun, dun. So this is something that was inspired by this comment here from Terrence saying, stop making fun of coin roll hunters. Plenty of us support your business and channel. And like many comments that I get in, sometimes I think that they've missed the mark, and then I think about it and I think, well, maybe I'm the one who's missed the mark. So let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit more. So to boil it down to the beginning, for those of you who don't know what coin roll hunting is, it is what it sounds like, which is to say you go to, generally, people go to banks and they tell their teller, hey, I'd like $100 in dimes, $100 in quarters, whatever it is, and then they take them home and they go through them. And they look for either silver coins or variety coins or things of that nature. Now, Terrence is upset because I say things. A lot of people get upset because I say things. Sometimes my wife gets upset because I say things. I don't always think through the things that I say. So I understand where Terrence is coming from. And in fact, I actually made an April Fool's video making fun of coin roll hunting videos. So let me put that in there. We're going to circle back to that in just a second. So coin roll hunting is a hobby that's become very, very popular, even more so than it used to be since the invention of social media. YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok all have people on there who have hundreds of thousands of followers because they take a roll of coins, they knock their phone down, and they go ahead and go through the coins and just show you what's in there. It's actually some of my most popular videos. I've only made a few of them, but people love them. I made a video opening up a roll of Morgan dollars that a customer bought on eBay. This is one of my most viewed videos. Generally speaking, it is all a part of the coin ecosystem, and that's why I share the content. You know, I like to bring all the different realms in front of you so you can see the different things that go on. One of the main points about that video was not to call out anything negative about coin roll hunting, but was actually to call out how most of the guys on eBay that have original rolls of coins, they're not original at all. Most of you already know that, but that's just something that I had to point out, and I like to point out, right? And so when it comes to coin roll hunting, when I talk about coin roll hunting, it comes off in maybe a negative light. What I'm talking about is a lot more about content creation than anything else. I've said this out loud, and I'll say it again. I don't really watch much of any other content. I catch bits and pieces. People send things to me to watch, and sometimes I have the time to view them. And the one thing I'll notice is, in the same way that the eBay guys who sell original rolls always magically have a Carson City dollar at the end of their roll, when you watch coin roll hunting on any social media platform, and the individual always finds something, it's kind of like the guy who goes out metal detecting and always finds something really rare instead of just bottle caps. Well, for those of you who go out and you guys metal detect, you know what the chances are. I've been doing this a long time, and so I know what happens. And by the way, I'm not in any way against coin roll hunting, and I'm going to take it several steps further. Coin roll hunting is really responsible for finding many, many rarities over the years. And I don't mean like you were coin roll hunting and you found a known variety. I mean, you're coin roll hunting and you found a new variety. The Wisconsin quarter variety, high leaf and low leaf, was found by our customer Bob Ford, and here at Old Pueblo Coin, we're the ones who told the world about it. Bob would come in every single day with stuff that he found, and Ben, look at this, Ben, look at this, Ben, look at this, and he loved doing that. And I never was down on him, and I wouldn't be down on him. I'm not down on anybody for what you collect. In fact, there's lots of areas that people collect that I don't find that interesting, but I talk about it, because it's all a part of the coin ecosystem. And here's the next step. I'm going to have some tips for coin roll hunters in a second, but also, the reality is we're all coin roll hunters if we're in this industry. We just hunt in different areas, right? So for a living, most of my living here, I've spent time as people bring in, just piles of stuff. I'm going through it. I am coin roll hunting. It's enjoyable. It's fun. It's interesting. And on a smaller level, when someone is getting coins from a bank, you are oftentimes, doing the same thing that I'm doing on a daily basis, right? I enjoy looking at big groups of foreign coins. When someone opens an old bag or something and dumps out a bunch of stuff that hasn't seen the light of day since like 1968, I'm like, okay, let's have fun. And you always want it. Most of the time, you find little to nothing, but that enjoyment is there, and it's the same enjoyment someone gets when they get big groups of coins from the bank. And if you are on eBay just looking for coins that are not in rolls, but you're searching for a very specific variety, you are coin roll hunting, right? When you're going to auctions or when you're going to coin shows, you are coin roll hunting. The engineer loves coin roll hunting. In other words, he goes through proof sets and mint sets to look for VAMs, sometimes VAMs, yes, but also a lot of the stuff that you'll see in the Cherry Picker's Guide. And he finds that very enjoyable, and it's also something that can be profitable, and same thing for anyone who coin roll hunts. So having said all that, I am not against coin roll hunting. I like honest content. That's enough said, right? But now some tips for people who want to get into coin roll hunting and like coin roll hunting. First of all, most guys have an established relationship with a bank. El Banco Diablo, or whatever your bank is, right? You go to your local bank and you have a established relationship with a teller there. Now, the hard part is banks used to have tellers that worked there for like 30 years, and they all knew your name. And that's not quite the culture we're in right now. But if you're in a smaller town, this still works out pretty good because there's a good chance that your bankers have been there a long time. Tip 1, knowing your banker. Tip 2, knowing multiple bankers. Like a lot of guys that I know who do coin roll hunting, they bank at multiple banks, multiple branches. They find different luck at different places. Speaking of which, by the way, one of my good friends, a customer of ours here who comes in every week, he takes our change and goes through it. And by the way, here's tip number 2 for you, is if you have a local coin shop, ask them if you can buy their change. And what I mean by that is what happens is you get at a shop like ours, we'll get large volumes of stuff in, and because we do not discriminate, in other words, I don't just tell people, well, I'll buy this, take all that stuff and leave. I don't want it. I buy the cheap stuff too, and oftentimes I end up with it. In old albums, you get stuff, and half the stuff is face value, and it's not something that we're going to have the time or ability to go through, just because of time pressures. Especially, I don't have time to go through all that, and so we've got a guy, right, who goes through our stuff and has fun with it. Finds little varieties and errors and really enjoys himself. It is a soothing hobby for him. Also, by the way, this is true of most YouTube videos that are of this genre. There's also something of an ASMR effect, which is just, my wife watches Dr. Pimple Popper, which if you don't know, it's just like people popping pimples. Say that 5 times fast. But there's something to watching coin videos in general, whether it's an unboxing video or an open roll video, coin roll hunting video, that is relaxing and soothing to people, almost has a zen quality to it as they watch and go through, as long as the person isn't screaming at the top of their lungs. So some other tips for those of you who want to coin roll hunt is to know the different types of varieties, what type of values you have. You got to know what you're looking for, right? And so that is tricky today, because when you try to Google stuff, you get all kinds of really crappy information. So I like to be able to see what things are actually selling for, either at auction or on eBay or something like that, to see if it's actually a valuable error or variety. And also it's helpful to get in touch with some of the different error resources out there, such as the Cherry Picker's Guides, which are books that you can purchase by Bill Fiva and Stanton. Also out there is a group called Konica, C-O-N-E-C-A, Konica, C-O-C-N-E. Yeah, that's preparation, Ben. So Konica is an online organization, or they're physical human beings. They're not just like AI. But you can go and check them out. They are very good with all kinds of varieties. And, you know, some of that message board and stuff, it gets a little deep for me. I like to think that most of the stuff that people will pay for is in the Cherry Picker's Guide. Generally speaking, that's the truth. Also, one more tip for those of you who like to cherry pick, and don't just go through coin rolls. As I mentioned, the engineer, a lot of the stuff that he has found, if you guys watch some of our open box videos, are coins that he has found in proof sets and mint sets. And so, honestly, most coin shops, if they're buying big bulk groups of proof sets and mint sets, they're not going through them. They don't have time for that, you know. So that's the type of thing that if you have a local coin shop again, and a lot of those proof sets from the 70s through 90s are really cheap. I mean, $3, $4 each, and you can buy a lot of them and go through them. And if you don't find anything, you can always wholesale them out again, and you know, it costs you. At least when you go through face value coins, you know, you get that face value return, and there's really little to no risk. You know, you up your risk when you go through proof sets and mint sets, but you also up your reward. In other words, a lot of the things that you can find in those sets seem to have more cachet, especially if you get them certified and they come back in a higher grade. So all that to say, Terrence, I'm sorry. I am in no way here to make fun of coin roll hunting, just to be very clear. I do have problems with people who create things that I think are less than honest. But you know what? I love this industry. I love this hobby. And there is not a right way to collect. There are hundreds of ways to collect coins, and have fun with it. Enjoy it. Share it with other people. I'm not mad. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.